pretty cool, isn't it? But we're very, very excited. And we made this prototype, and some of our beta testers have been looking at the video that we've made, and we showed them the prototype, and we asked them just what they thought. And these are the biggest architectural firms in the world, the biggest developers in the world. And they thought it was pretty cool too. This is one of my favorite comments. It's very, very easy to use, and has a real need. That is really the essence of what they're telling us. There's a real immediate need that we are solving a problem for them, and when can we have it? So that's exciting. But what's exciting is since we launched the prototype, we've been approached by other people from other industries. And they've found uses for that as well. These are some examples. For example, the inspection and maintenance services. Quite a boring thing, but the guys there told us that, hey, one of the biggest costs for us is to send people out onto construction sites, or whether it's to inspection sites, and make these numerous trips to inspect whether something's installed correctly or whether the ditch is large enough. If we could only reduce the number of trips that we make, that will save us a huge amount of money, and Woobius Eye can do that. So these are some of the users that we have found. That's really, really exciting. But what is this worth? What is this worth to our users? Well, we think it's important to have a free element. We want this great tool that we build to be available to everybody. And we know that from building Woobius, that having a collaboration tool that is free helps us spread enormously and very, very quickly. For the charging part, we use the same charging model as Woobius. It's a subscription-based model. You can either buy it as a company or as an individual. And that works for the industry in architecture, as well as many other market sectors. As for how we're going to develop it, I'm going to introduce you to Daniel. We'll run through our development plan.
Thanks, Bob. Right, so this is where we are, basically. And one of the things that we've learned from developing Woobius is that building a good product is hard, but it's not the hardest thing. You also need to make sure you build the right product. And the way to do that is to get user feedback. And this is where the Vodafone prize can really help us, because with it, we can get a beta out as quickly as we can and start putting it in front of real users and get some real feedback about which features they need, how they want to pay for it, etc. Then the plan is to launch first on iPhone and Android, and then to expand to other platforms later. In terms of competitors, there are a lot of live collaboration tools out there, and some of them are desktop to desktop. There's things like GoToMeeting and WebEx. And what those are about is they tend to be about making remote meetings possible with distributed teams. And those work really well for that, but that's not quite what we're about. Then in terms of mobile to mobile collaboration apps, there's a number of things on the App Store like Scribble Share or Netscape, and they're really about the social element of scribbling on a picture together, playing notes and crosses together, and they're a lot of fun. They're really good at having a lot of fun, but that's not quite what we're about either. What we're really about is empowering the person who's out there on the site, who has a problem that they need to resolve, to initiate a collaboration session with their support team back in the office, and to get the support that they need from the office. And because it's built on Woobius, of course, you can save those sessions to Woobius, you can access all that information later, and you can load up information from Woobius if you put it there, if it can help you solve the problem. Back to Bob.
Okay, so thank you very much. In summary, Woobius Eye is a business application, and it started out for the construction industry. It's got an instant demand there, an immediate need, and it's got industry backing. It's also built on the Woobius infrastructure, so anyone who's already using Woobius, they can get all the benefits from Woobius. It's built on an experienced and proven team. We've done this before, we know how to build applications, and it's got massive potential to expand to other sectors. But most importantly, we've just finished Woobius. So for us, winning the Vodafone prize is very, very important, because it will make a huge difference to us. It will allow us to bring the application to our users at least 6 months earlier. So that's very important to us. Now, we believe in having a lot of fun while we do this, and I've got James with me here just to show you an animation. I'll let him explain.
This is a short animation that explains how Woobius can be used throughout the life of a project. So every project, they start with the client. Now, the client has a site that he wants to develop, and so he calls his architect up. He says, come down, have a look at the site, have a look at the context, after which the architect will then go away. He'll come up with lots of ideas, and he then scribbles them in his sketchbook. It's all very loose, but at some point it gets very serious. You have a big meeting with the client, project team, and he goes, right, let's build this great design. So, then all the consultants that form that team, they go away back to their office, work up the design, and they produce a huge amount of drawings, specifications, and reports. This is all uploaded onto Woobius, and this is where everyone has access to that information, including the builder, in this case, Bob.
Hey, hello, thanks James. So I, as a builder, download all the information, print it off, and then build the building. But invariably at some point I have a question, like here, where does this final cladding panel go? So with Woobius Eye, I take out my phone, I launch the application, I can take a picture of the problem in question, mark it up, maybe even add some questions on there, some text, and then I can fire that off to James to initiate a live collaboration session.
Oh, now I see exactly what you're saying, Bob. The last cladding panel should go here.
Of course, James. I should have realised that myself. Thank you very much. And so the cladding panel goes in, the project's complete, on time, on budget, and everyone's happy, the client's happy, and the project team's happy. And ladies and gentlemen, that's what Woobius Eye is about.